Did you know that all parents homeschool? What? Yes, all parents homeschool. I'll explain what I mean later in this video. Hey guys, my name's Holly. I have 3 kids under the age of 7, and my husband and I live in a small town in eastern North Carolina, raising our 3 kids in a little brick schoolhouse. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out my website, www.mylittlebrickschoolhouse.com, I'd invite you to go over there and take a look. The house started out as a creative outlet for myself, but it's evolved into something much more of a service for you. Our mission is fourfold. Number 1, deliver resources to allow parents and their kids to read good living books, create content that fosters engaging narration and discussion about the living books. Number 3, connect families with Charlotte Mason and classical methods. And number 4, strategize homeschool solutions. I started homeschooling in 2018, so I've been at it for a little while. You can ask me anything, but I'm still roughly new at this. First of all, before I talk about practicum, I'd like to talk about a problem that our society faces today. Usborne Books and More cites that interest in reading dropped from 100% among kindergartners to 54% among 4th grade students. What happened between K and 4th grade? Do you know that reading aloud to your children increases his want to read? So what happened? Y'all, this is a crisis. Parents stopped reading to their kids. And so what replaced the books? I think it's the elephant in the room, guys. Screens, right? Screens. Now, I'm not bashing completely on screens. There's a time and a place for screens. And, honestly, screens are not the problem. It's the misuse of screens. But let's talk about the consequences here. Too much time spent on the screen is associated with childhood obesity, sleep disturbances, and attention span issues. Oh, I'm sure there are emotional implications as well. Because I know when my kids have been watching TV for a little while, and maybe it's gotten to be a little bit longer than I would like, and I turn that TV off, ooh, they are mean. Well, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13, I'll read to you. We're called to be holy as Christians. And this is something we are given, right, as a gift from God, but we are also called as Christians to live holy lives. Therefore, preparing your minds for action, that's a conscious choice, and being sober-minded, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. As obedient children, do not be conformed to the passions of your former ignorance, but as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct, since it is written, you shall be holy, for I am holy. All right, there's grace, right? There's grace for our mistakes as parents, and boy, oh boy, do we mess up every single day. I just wanted to remind us this time that we have with our kids is so fleeting. It's going to be here one day, and then we're going to blink, and they're going to be going off to college. So let's make the most of it, guys. And if reading is something that binds our hearts together, then let's take hold of that opportunity. So let's talk about time. Where does your child spend the most of his time annually? At home. At home, y'all. We have him for 7,800 hours per year. School, 900 hours. So, which teacher is more influential? That's why I've created resources for you to use on my website and my YouTube channel. Don't worry, I'm not reading to your kids anymore. Y'all don't need to be seeing my face more than necessary. And honestly, you need to be reading with your kids, not me. So I'm passing the baton to you guys, and I'm going to be reading to mine here on that couch over there. See? It's about binding hearts together in the family, not about leaving the kids. So I'm shifting my mission, and I'm really loving it so far. So if you go to my website, you'll see a tab entitled Book Lists. Scroll down to the bottom of that page and you'll find my first book list. You can upload that PDF file, and it's my little gift to you for June. There are book recommendations on that book list, but you can pick out your own books based on the living book criteria that I've included. And I also have a narration practice sheet that you guys can go through together, and it'll be a really beneficial way to think about the reading and have your child retell what he or she has learned from what you all are reading together. So, all parents homeschool. What does that mean? Let's get back to that. If you have breath in your lungs and you have offspring, then you've been homeschooling your kids since birth. Did you teach your child to eat, to feed himself? Did you teach him to dress himself? What about, do you talk to your child and has she been picking up language from you since birth? All those things, you get the picture. Homeschooling is nothing new, and you're making a tremendous impact, and you were your child's first teacher. Now, I'm not advocating homeschool for every single family. Of course, seasons of life, full-time ministry jobs, and other situations could preclude homeschool from being a good, God-glorifying option for your family. That said, there's so much to unpack here. Where do we begin? Classical education is where our journey began. I'm going to tell you more about that in my next video, my take on classical education, and you'll hear a little bit about our family story, along with some things that I gleaned from our Classical Conversations practicum. I really enjoyed talking to you today. If this information in the video was helpful, please hit subscribe and feel free to check out my website, mylittlebrickschoolhouse.com. Until then, take care.